everybody, it's Jerry, and today I'm going to show you how to make just your basic sandwich bread. Now this particular bread is a sourdough bread, so you need to have a starter ready to go, and in the comments I'll explain a little bit how to get that starter going. And there's no particular flavor to it, but you can experiment adding different things like raisins or nuts or herbs or whatever kind of other flavorings you want. But this is just your basic sandwich bread. And let's get started.
The first thing we need to do is feed our starter. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown rice flour, 2 tablespoons of millet flour, and 4 tablespoons of tapioca flour. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum, 1/2 cup of water, and just a little bit of agave, maybe a teaspoon or so. That'll just help to activate it. And you're just going to whisk everything together and keep whisking it for a minute or so until it thickens a little bit. And then put the lid on loosely and let it sit until doubled in volume. It should take a few hours. Now we're going to take 3 tablespoons of psyllium husk, add it to a bowl, preferably with a stand mixer, and 3/4 cup of water, and just let it sit for a minute to thicken. And then we're going to add 1/3 cup of olive oil, and 1/3 cup of agave, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to take our starter, which is foamed up nicely, and we're just going to whisk it a little bit just to get rid of some of the air. And then we're going to measure out 1 1/4 cups of the starter and add that into the bowl. And then we're going to beat that at high speed for about 5 minutes or so. And then remove the whisk attachment. And we're going to add in our dry ingredients. So we're going to add 1 1/2 cups of brown rice flour, 1 1/2 cups of millet flour, 1 1/2 cups of tapioca flour, 1/3 cup of cassava flour, 1/3 cup of coconut milk powder, a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And then we're going to add 1 1/2 cups of sparkling water. And then we're going to put a dough attachment on the mixer. And we're going to beat that just at low speed initially, just to get everything mixed up, and then we're going to gradually go up to high speed and let that beat together for at least 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. And it'll be like a nice thick batter. And just cover the bowl with plastic wrap and let it sit for 1 hour. And then remove the plastic wrap, and we're going to turn the batter into a bread pan, which has been sprayed with oil. Even if it's non-stick, still spray it with oil so it won't stick. And just shake the pan, just even out the batter, and spray the top with oil. Put it in a large plastic bag and seal it up so that it's airtight. And put that in the oven, which is off, but with the light on, and leave it there for at least 3 hours. Now you can leave it overnight and it'll get much more sour, so you'll really taste the sourdough, but 3 hours is enough just for a good rise on the bread. And then remove the plastic and slice down the middle with a sharp knife. You want to slice down a good ½ inch to an inch, and this will just direct the rise so to get a nice bread shape. And then we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for 1 hour and 15 minutes. And then it should fall right out of the pan. And what I like to do is cover the bread when it's still warm with plastic wrap, because that will make the crust nice and soft when you slice it. Now, if you want to leave the crust hard, then you don't need this. You don't need to cover it with the plastic wrap. You can just let it cool. And then once it's cooled, you can remove the plastic wrap if you have it, and you're ready to slice the bread.
Thanks everybody for watching, and please tune in next time for some more great recipes. And as always, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.